And we're live here again. Uselink here on October 9th, 2023 it is. We're going to be looking at the miners in the US and in Canada, obviously. I just did the Australian one. Go check that one out. Just like I said before I went on there, please let me know in the comments below if you think that I'm about the pace. Is it too fast? Is it too quick? Too little detail? Too much details? Please let me know if you like how I present it. As always, I want to do as good of a job to get the information out to you without taking too much of your time. Basically, I want to find the sweet spot. So please let me know. Use 15 seconds, write a comment. Thank you. All right. With that said, uranium miners per se in Canada and in the US, we will always start with the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. And again, long term, it just looks fantastic. I mean, I don't have much to add on the details here of it. Again, we did take out that 18 to $20 level here, big spike. And yeah, I think, as mentioned, we're going over here to the highs in 2007 in a straight line. Absolutely not. But 30 weekly is coming up with brutal force here. And all the major resistances, as you can see here, has been taken out. Yeah, it will probably take, you know, a year or two, maybe 1 year to get there. Again, I don't want to predict any specific times, but again, if you can see the peak here from here, that's probably 1 year. So again, it will get there in my view, and it looks fantastic, really it does. You had one big squeeze right here, resolve to the upside, and then maybe you'll get a spike and you'll get one more, and then we will blast higher. So yeah, obviously fantastic, and dips should be bought here. You can see one dip here again. I'm not saying that it is over, that we're going to skyrocket, but again, we could be in for a big retest of that $20 level, which will be a massive gift if you get there. I'm just going to say that. BSK, Blue Sky Uranium, still struggling with that blue falling channel right there. Again, we touched the lower golden, and now we're trying to get above 0.1. That is really my go-to level here. Couldn't quite have a weekly close above the blue lines here, so we were back in. But again, if we can get above here, then you might have a smaller inverted head and shoulders. Actually, it's roughly 6 month long or so, and then we can maybe pop, maybe. Cameco, again, one of the best performing uranium miners that there has been for the past 2 years, 3 years. It didn't have a major or a big 18-month long correction like most of the others. It just went straight up, give or take. And the path right now is that we will visit the highs from June 07. But again, I will also say this, that you can see here we're getting some sellers in here. We are stretched, so yeah, pullbacks are to be expected here before we finally go higher again. But it has just been performing so well. I mean, it's really nice to see the bellwether perform nicely, and then you see the rotation into the mid caps and then smaller caps later on in the uranium bull market. So yeah, beautiful. All right, let's go quickly on here again. Want to show you Denison. Look at this long-term golden trend line. Let's zoom in. Why do we zoom in? Because what's happening right now? Two things, one bullish side, one bearish side. You can see here, retesting, right? That's beautiful. We want to resume to the upside. Negative, maybe we have a slight topping pattern here, and we might go lower for a while before we possibly go higher again. You can also see here, this is a big move. It might need some more digestion before we continue. So look for that 2.8, $2.5 level for DML. That's the DML, the Canadian one. So this is Alaska. Hasn't broken out yet, but it looks like it really want to have a go. Golden trend line back to 2016. And yeah, once we break that one, it's go time again. I do think that we're in for one more pullback before we crack it. I don't think we have that much momentum for now. Maybe we have, but again, I do think a tiny pullback, then we go for Alaska. And then we will go to the triangle high here at 1.5. And We have a minor one here. Also, that triangle here is around 0.8, give or take. Also, there came last week. There were a massive volume coming into Alaska. You can see here on when's that? Friday. So 2 weeks before the Friday, 2 weeks ago, a lot of volume came in. So that's not too bad. Also, on core energy here, I want to show you. There it is. All the hard work is done. Blue neckline, inverted head and shoulders. The squeeze has been taken out. The 30 week is finally coming up again. Higher high, lower high, higher low here at some point in time. We could go for a full retest at the neckline here, down to roughly 3.7, 3.8. Again, in my view, that's a buying opportunity, retesting that neckline, and then we pop here, stepping higher. Nothing goes in a straight line. Always remember that. Fission, again, we are in a major bull flag, and we haven't quite made a higher high yet, as you can see right there. You could argue this one here, but again, I would argue this one is closer to. So yeah, I do think we're in for one final higher low. Well, higher, yeah, it's a higher low actually. 30 weekly should be coming up here again. This one looks ready. You can see here when we pop that one, big breakout retest and boom. And I think we'll do the same here again. And this one should go higher once we get above, let's call it $1. $1, that makes sense. Rounding up here quite a bit. Actually, base load fine looks fantastic. Again, still not out of the woods yet, but we have had that one right there getting taken out, and we are retesting into this tip, blue tip here at the 30 weekly. And you can see here, big wick here. Was it last week? Was it this week? That's last week as well. But still, you can see here, big wick. Oh, big wick here. And do we have some shorter term trend lines getting taken out? Not quite yet, but you can see here that somewhat we are flagging right there. So I think when we get above 1.47, that we should be on the go for this lag of a uranium miner. Again, still a bit early. We want to take out the breakout high at 0.52. Basically, that's our major go for this stock here. But for now, looks good. Up 6% today. Not too shabby. Forces metals. Look at the long-term golden. Have a look all the way down. Where are we now? We are sitting right below. So until we take that 0.75 dollar level, then we're good to go. But until then, we are below and we haven't broken out just yet. So any pullbacks, if you get a pullback into the 30 weekly or into maybe a full retest of the blue right there, then you have your buying opportunities into that higher low right here, higher high, higher low. So you actually want this to crack down here before it goes higher, so you can get a better entry. Again, if we pop that 0.75, game on in my view. FUU again, it's been strong, and we're just waiting for that 0.5 to get taken out. You can see all the details about this stock in previous videos. It looks fantastic, it really does. But again, until we get that weekly close above 0.5, you can see here why. Then we're still in a consolidation phase. Hopefully, we resolve to the upside. If we do, we have a lot higher targets to look for. Again, a bit too early to talk about, but yeah. Global Atomic, again, looks. Don't get me wrong, it has done insanely well. I didn't expect such a move right here. But again, I think if we go to the daily, we are getting into overbought territory. Also, no, just looking at, no, that's quite nice. Never mind. I just think I saw something. Anyways, I don't think we get that V shape. Maybe we do, but I don't think it until proven otherwise. I want to get back above the neckline here at roughly 3 before I can say all right. But still, we're getting very stretched, and I do think that when you get that pullback, that's actually when you should be buying in. So you go to the daily or the 4-hourly to see if you can find any squeezes, any positive divergence, and so on, depending on how you do it. But we are getting into some lower side of bear flags, lower side of trend lines, and we are at the 30 weekly moving average right now. So yeah, I will definitely not be a buyer here. Also, we're getting into, which is not marked here for some reason. There it is. We are into that, Niger gap at the moment. And when it gets filled here at roughly 2.56, again, that's often when you see the relief to the downside. And then maybe we can go higher. But again, it could also be, cup and handle. So right now it's very tricky here, but I will not touch this one. I've been burned many times buying this late in a counter trend move, which it is. You can see here we have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we haven't yet made a higher high. So I do think there will be a great adding or buying opportunity during Q4. Yeah, during this quarter, that should be a great buying opportunity at some point in time, also confirming the upside and so on. But yeah. GoVX, false breakdown, snapback, retest into the 30 weekly, the blue Nike line, and we're getting some bounce here. You can see exactly what you want to see with the false breakdown, as you know, I have been showing many times how I like to play these false breakdowns of a falling wedge, snapback, and I buy the first retest, or at least I wait to see if there are buyers, and then I go in. Obviously, looks good. Now we want to take out that breakout high at 0.2, and then we're good to go if we get there. So yeah, ISO again. What's happening? What's happening now with ISO? Breaking out, having a pullback into the top of the bull flag, and that's typically where you want to be buying, or at least waiting to see if you have a bounce. 30 weekly coming up here long term. Fantastic. Fantastico. Cap here again. We went all the way into the apex here and then major blast off. And I do think there are more downside, but higher high again, and you want to buy a low here. Where? Yeah, if you get to, let's put it at the highs there. So if you get down to, let's call it 33.5, I think you have a great entry. And you should find support there also together with the 30 weekly. That should be at around the same place at that trend line here. Again, that's how I would play it if I am. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not gonna reveal everything that I do, but that is how I would do it. Again, do your own due diligence. That's how I would do it. Lamb here. Again, the long-term stuff, fantastic for Lamb. You could go and check that out in other videos where I went into a bit more detail long-term. But for now, you can see, again, it's just getting started here. Retest up again, and now we're just digesting a lot of sells here. Again, we are having 30 weekly coming up, and I will say as long as long term it doesn't really matter. But if I were to give a short term level that to look for 0.6, I really want to see that hold. We have, the pivots here, fake out here, touch there. So you can see here 0.6 is really a big level to be above. 30 weekly is finally coming up here again. Looks fantastic. Long term for the good old LEU, very messy chart, I will say. Long, but still, if you look in, there are something to look for, and you can see here we did take out this long resistance rail, breaking out. Now we're retesting that long term. This purple one we're retesting, and that rail, and I do think right here at roughly 50, 70, excuse me, 50 down to maybe 30, 47, 46. That should be where we stop, and then we turn higher again. 30 weekly again coming up, and we have done all the hard work. Higher high, we are probably looking for a higher low. We are in a bullish uptrend on the weekly. So yeah, you buy a counter trend rally on shorter time frames. That's how you play it. Mega uranium, I don't want to go into the long-term stuff again. All the hard work has been done. That's right there. 30 weekly is coming up. Still very stretched. And again, short term, I want to see that 0.2935, let's call it 0.3 level hold right here. I really want to see that hold. You can see we had the big test of that level. So let's hold there. And again, long term, the trend is up. On the weekly, we are in a stage 2 incline. And yeah, so the monthly and the weekly on most of the charts are in control. So what you want to be looking for on the daily, maybe even the 4-hourly, you want to buy into a counter trend bear rally in those time frames, going against the long-term uptrend, and then it should resume to the upside. That's how you play it. NXE here again, just again, major move here again, getting very stretched here into previous resistance here, roughly $8, for $7 to $8, and yeah, you have a somewhat of a blow off top there, getting the first pullback, and I do think that will probably be flagging here to some degree. I think it needs at least a few more weeks, 4-6 weeks maybe, to digest this major move up here. But once we clear this one, you are in fresh air territory above 8.5, and we are in price discovery. And I want to show you how well aligned it actually can be. We have a parallel channel right there. You can also see it's almost perfectly aligned with the middle. You can see here the dotted one. So you can see these here almost perfectly aligned. If they were, it would be beautiful to see. But they are not. But still, they are to some degree aligned there. So I think once we break this one here, I think we can go all the way up to roughly 20. Again, do your own due diligence, but that's how I see, this one getting moved to the upside. So we are at 8, and we could go to 20 here in 2024, maybe 2025, depending on how long time it takes. But yeah, that's SMR. Again, finally, volume coming in, false breakdown. And what are we looking for? We are looking for that move and then the first pullback into the upper and the 30 weekly, which should be somewhere around here at that point in time. That's when we want to. I have a position. It's down quite a few percent, I would say. 30-40% I'm down on this one. But again, if I see that snapback here, then you create a neckline and then you buy into that right shoulder. Again, this is just purely, I will not say speculation, but that's how I could see this one going. Again, let's see in November, December, if we are there. But definitely this looks like a blow off to the downside with volume coming in, false breakdown. That's how I see that one going. Again, let's see if I'm right. Maybe not. Lightbridge, good old Lightbridge again. Very strange chart to be honest. I'm just waiting to get above 7 right here. We haven't broken out of that one here. So we want to get above 7 before we're bullish. Until then, we're in a major downtrend. It's that easy sometimes. Sky Harbor, look at the level here to look at is 0.7. All the way here, bit of a fakey here. Again, the hard work is done. Look at that squeeze right there. 30 weekly straight in the middle. Boom. That's the start of a weekly stage 2 incline. 30 weekly is coming up here. You buy again, do your own due diligence, but you buy every pullback from now on in this stock until you are in a stage 4 decline. Yeah, that's how I see it. UEC, I think I showed this last one. This trend line here, I copied up to that one right there, the top of that one. And you can see on the daily that we broke out of it and it retested it. So even though we only actually had one dot, we could actually project this one here and it retested over there. Beautiful alignment, actually. I like it. Again, UEC, one of my favorite bigger uranium miners actually is UEC. Stunningly, very good price action. And in a green uptrend here, we have broken out from the golden there. And also the squeeze here has been taken care of. Where could I see this one going? I could see this one going again up to 20, roughly, to meet the high of, I don't know that the exact trajectory, but still we're getting up here to that green here at some point in time. If everything goes well, we are at 5 right now. I could see this go to $20 really, maybe 25 depending on how fast it goes. But fantastic. I like UEC. I like it a lot. It was one of my biggest. It was the biggest position that I had, so I had to sell out and go into some smaller ones with the big profit that I actually had on that one. Bought it late 2020. So beautiful. URG. Breakout of the bull. Broke out of tons of things actually. That one, we had a trend channel here, 30 weekly, breaking out, retesting that golden, making a higher high as well. 30 weekly is coming up. Again, we are in a weekly bullish uptrend. Look for the entries on the daily or one time frame lower. on the 4 hourly. That's when you get your trigger points. UROI, same thing. Broke out, nothing much to add really. You buy the dips here for uranium. Again, in my view, that's what I'm doing with the capital that I have. When we get, I'm not buying every pullback, but I'm trying to see if we get a very deep pullback on some of them. Let's say we go all the way down here to the 2 lines here and the 30 weekly, then that's my entry. Maybe we won't go here and we go higher, fair enough, but I want to get that big discount, low risk, high risk, low, what's it called, low risk, high reward entry, excuse me. So yeah, UUSA Kraken Energy still struggling here. We just broke out of this very steep gold trend line. It's very steep, so it doesn't mean that it's a rocket ship straight away. We're still in this, barely in that channel right here. We are struggling with the 30 weekly. We want to get a big pop here and then have again a move back here. We're just fighting to get into stage 2, but we're not quite there yet. But it's trying. It really is. 2 more. UUUU. Energy Fuels, also one of my bigger positions. Getting a nice pullback. This is the green one here. 1, 2, 3. Breakout, retest. This is probably resumption right here. I don't think we go much lower than where we are. If we do, we have support at around 6.5, 30 weekly, and that one right there. Excuse me, that one right here. But I don't think we go lower actually. Higher high, higher low. Last but not least, yellow cake. Good old yellow cake. Similar thing. We are in a green uptrend. Don't fight it. The trend is your friend. 30 weekly moving up nicely. We had a lot of sideways action here at around 440. What is it? Pounds? I think it's pounds here. And then we popped it here, and the first pullback is coming in. I do think we could go all the way down to the high here for a great entry at 480, give or take. Again, the trend is your friend, and I do think we will visit the upper trend line here at some point in time. Long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, give me the comment below with regarding to the length of the video and the details that I'm giving. Sometimes I only give for the past week, and then sometimes I drag it out and show, like 15-year long history. Anyways, let me know in the comments below. Have a great one, guys, and I hope you are in with me on this uranium bull market. Again, I will also let you know when I'm very bearish on uranium at some point in time. And when I will be selling, I will also let you know, because I try to be as open as possible around this. Again, you can do what you want. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways, have a great one, guys. Cheers.